Live life on your terms. It's possible. I know it is. I wrote the book on it. And over the next few minutes, we're going to go through and we'll talk about what it means and how to start taking approach to go after it. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, to our partners, the world changes. So when it comes to living life on your terms, it's such a beautiful and wonderful opportunity and time that we live in. But the problem is that so many of us have abdicated the narrative. We've given up, we've given it to somebody else to define what success looks like. We're trying to keep up with everybody on TikTok or Facebook or whatever because we only see their highlight reel. Or maybe we see things on TV and the commercials like, oh, I have to have that if I'm going to be better, faster, sexier, or whatever it may be. Maybe it came from a well-meaning, well-intended scarcity mindset of our parents. I want you to be an accountant because it's good and safe. Doesn't mean it's wrong, but maybe it isn't what you really wanted. So the reality is that so many of us are now living in a space from a happiness perspective that maybe we're happy, maybe we aren't, but we haven't really controlled the desire on where we want to go. So where this came from and where I started doing this, we've created an entire course around this, is called Life on Your Terms. And you can go to the website lifeon-yourterms.com. We've got courses, tools, all sorts of things. And some of them are for free. So with this though, it started, and about 8 years ago, I had my hip and my knee replaced. And I found myself stranded on the couch, doped up on painkillers, couldn't even read. It's not my way. Drooling on myself. So I discovered daytime television. And I started to watch daytime TV. And through this, I don't know if you've done daytime TV, holy smokes, is that a scary place. Cruising through, and I discovered what a Kardashian was. And I don't know if you've seen the Kardashians, most people have or are familiar with it, but it's a very interesting show in that there's a bunch of beautiful people who are connected with a bunch of other really successful, beautiful people, and they make boatloads of money and have lots and lots of cool stuff. And yet it seems like all they did was bitch. Not always, but a lot of times. And I'm just like, I've kind of been measuring my success the same way the Kardashians do. I felt icky. I didn't like that at all. So I switched over to some other channels, and I found these guys in Alaska. Now, I happen to like the backcountry stuff. I'm not saying it has to be what you like, but for me, it was interesting. Here are these guys that maybe make, 10 grand a year, doing nothing but working all the time, living in conditions where they build their own house in minus sub-freezing temperatures on snow machines from the 70s and duct tape on their glasses. It's just bizarre. And yet, every one of these shows, nobody in the show could get through an entire show without saying how fortunate they felt, how filled with gratitude they were, that they were living the life that they chose. And it really got me thinking, do I want to live more like the Kardashians, or do I want to live like the guy in the woods? Well, I have to say I like my BMWs, I like multiple homes, I like the success I have, but it's not the only way to measure success. And it was because of that I started going down the rabbit hole to define what is life on your terms. What does it look like for me, not for anybody else, not according to my parents or my friends or the social platforms, but for me. And it was a really interesting exercise. And I've been coaching people for over 35 years and working with people all around the world. And I've worked with some very heavy hitters and some, kids coming out of college. And it's different for everybody. But one of the key things we're doing is we need to give ourselves permission to look at success in a different way. So if you happen to be a coach and you're looking to get deeper and go work with people more, you're welcome to reach out to us and we'll show you, because we have certification programs where we have a whole team of coaches who are using the Life on Your Terms tools and coaching to help people figure and explore this. If you are an individual that's like, you know what, I'm trying to figure this out, man, I can't applaud you enough. That in and of itself is huge, creating that awareness that I would like to learn more about this, who I am and what success would look like on my terms and how can I go after it. So we'll give you a couple freebies right off the bat here. One, if you go to the website lifeon-yourterms.com, you can actually go on, and we have a tool called the balance wheel. Doesn't cost you anything, only takes about 6 minutes, and it'll give you immediate results. We do ask for an email, trade an email for it. But what it does is it helps you create an awareness of where you're starting from. Now, I've worked with companies and organizations, individuals, couples across the world, and everybody goes through one of 4 phases. Stabilize, we have to assess and stabilize where we are. Visualize, decide where we want to go. Strategize, how are we going to do it? And then how do we ruthlessly but compassionately execute? How do we execute that so that we can go and achieve that? So to start with, we need to create an awareness of where we are. What does amazing look like for us? And then we can start figuring out how we visualize what that amazing could be. So to start with, phase 1, do the exercise. Of anything, it creates a little bit of awareness. You can go through and it looks at your life on a holistic level. Now, it would be my argument that if you are a business owner or whatever it may be, for you to be the best you possible, you have to be the best parent, the best spouse or partner. You have to be in good health and fitness. You have to have a solid awareness in how you're handling your health and sleep and different aspects. And all of those things then become an impact of work. But it's a holistic approach. If you don't have that holistic approach, you're just going to play whack-a-mole with different things. Now, I've worked with people in different ways in this, and I've had some people say, no, Kluver, you're wrong. If I got a lot of money, I'm good. Okay, maybe. Maybe you're a sociopath, but I don't think so. You know, if you happen to have a lot of money, and again, I love money, don't get me wrong, but it's coming at the expense of your relationships because you're working 90 hours a week, your partner isn't feeling as confident about the relationship and she starts stepping out, or your kids have addiction issues, or the only way you sleep is with a handful of Xanax every night, or you're 50 pounds overweight worrying about being pre-diabetic. How successful are you? You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have those other pieces, it doesn't work. So the first step is going to be to create that awareness of where you are. And then with this, you can then start to lay out what would amazing look like for each one of the slices of the pie. And when you look at it, it comes up as a wheel, and you'll see that there's 12 slices, and what would amazing look like for each one of those slices. But once you have that start, you start to create the awareness of where we want to go. And we have a variety of different tools that help you visualize what amazing can look like. How do you create a personal BHAG of sorts, big, hairy, audacious goal, or what we like to call a life-changing goal. And then you actually get to create an entire roadmap that you can ruthlessly but compassionately go out and achieve your dreams. How do you put the intentionality and define, where do I want to go? Because if you're just one of those people that's out wandering, that's probably where you'll end up. You'll just keep wandering. But if you say, you know what? I want to go to the top of that mountain over in Italy, where they don't have loud motorcycles and cardinals. Sorry. Now, if I want to go to that mountain at the top of Italy, over in Italy, great. Am I going to do that today? No, I'm not in Italy. But that's where I want to go. Fair enough. You can then start to build a plan that says, well, geez, I need to get more fit. I need to figure out when I can get some time off. I'm gonna have to buy tickets and a passport. But you start to create a strategy then of what it is, and then how do you hold yourself accountable? Now, there's ways that we do this, but then there's also ways that we do this for entire organizations. Sometimes it's just for a couple, making sure that we create champions, not saboteurs. But life in your terms is a process that creates awareness, that helps you dream and visualize in ways you've never thought possible, create that roadmap, and achieve more than you ever dreamed. If you'd like to learn more, we'd love to have you watch more of the videos on this channel. And if you have questions, by all means, please reach out. Please subscribe. Like I say, if you have questions, let us know. Keep smiling.